Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you what are delegates in C sharp. So let's see what is the definition of delegates, and then we will see declaration and usage of delegates. So a delegate is a type which holds a method reference in an object. Okay. We can also say it is also referred to as a type safe function pointer. Okay, so delegate is a type safe function pointer, and generally we use delegate to improve the performance of our application, because we can use a delegate to call methods asynchronously. So I will demonstrate to you what I mean by those lines. But first, let's see how we can declare delegates. So for that, what I'm going to do is I have this class called example1, and in this class, I will create a public method, for example, which will be public void, or it will return integer, for example, int, and I want to name my method as add, or yeah, add numbers, add numbers. And this takes two parameters, which are obviously two numbers, right? So this will take two parameters. First is int number 1, comma int number 2. Okay, and what this method does, it just returns the addition of these numbers. So return number 1 plus number 2, right? Plus number 2. This is a small method, and there is nothing special in it. It just takes two number as as parameters, and it adds those two numbers and returns, right? Now I said, or by the definition, to declare a delegate, what are delegate? Delegate is a type safe function pointer. So we declare a delegate to point to this function. Okay, so let's see how we can declare delegates first. Delegates, we can use delegate, or we can declare delegate as a simple function with a keyword delegate. So for example, I want to create a delegate for this function. I will take the signature of this method, or prototype of this method. I will just copy this and paste it here, and I just need to include a keyword called delegate here. Okay, so delegate, and the name of the delegate, we will name this delegate as such that it represent that it's a delegate of this function. So I can say add number delegate, for example. Okay, this is how you declare delegates. Okay, and this function has the same signature to the function you are pointing. So for now I'm pointing to this function which returns integer. So our delegate will also return integer, and it takes two arguments which are ints, and my function also takes two arguments which are ints, right? Now delegates are similar to a class in a way. We can define an instance of this delegates. Like in a class, we can define the object of the class. You can also define the object of the delegate. Okay, so let's use this delegate, sorry, this delegate, which is add number delegate, to our main function. So I can create an object of this function like this. Like I can do it with classes. Add number delegate del is equal to new add number delegate, and it takes two parameters, right? But for pointing this delegate to this function, right now in the definition we are not specifying that this delegate is for this function, right? But in the construction of this function, or as a constructor of this function, we pass the name of the function we want to point to in this delegate. Okay, so here we pass a function as a constructor, right? And this is showing us error because, for example, we haven't created the instance of this function to use in here. So I will declare this method or function as a static method, and then we will be able to use it. So I will use it as static, and then we can use this. Otherwise we have to define the instance of this example one class, and then by using the object of this class we can call this. But for now we declare this as a static function, so we can use it directly here. Okay, so this is how you can make an instance of delegate. It has the name of the delegate, then the object name is equal to new delegate, and as a construction or as a constructor you pass the function name you want to point to. Okay, and now you can just use this del object as an instance or object of delegate and call that function. So just write del dot dot, and you can just pass those parameters like you can pass to a function, right? So what you can do, for example, I will declare a int result, and this is equal to the addition of two numbers. So just write del, and this will take two arguments, which are two integers, right? So because we have passed this add number function as a constructor, or in the construction of this delegate, this delegate knows that it's pointing to this function, and this function is taking two parameters or two integers, right? So I can pass these two integers in here, right? For example, 455 comma 678. Okay, so you can just use delegate like this. You need to pass those parameters which the function is taking, and it will return the result as an integer, whatever it's returning. And then you can just print this. Console dot write line, and you can just print the answer like this, result. Okay, and when I run the program, it will run fine, and it shows me the addition of these two numbers, right? So this is how you can declare a delegate and use a delegate to point a function. But you can do it like this also. Why do we really need this delegate if we can use this function directly? You can just use this add a number here, and you can pass these two numbers. Instead of doing this, you can just copy the name of this function, and instead of this del object you can just use this, and it will also give the same result. But why we need to use this delegate? Because whenever we create some classes which has to be used in a general sense, or in a multiple situation, delegates are very useful. Why? Because instead of this condition, for example, you wanted a product of these two numbers, and these two numbers the argument will be same, but for example, you want to change the functionality of the product. You cannot change the functionality of the product when you use the same function, but you can change the functionality of the functionalities of this number or this function when you use delegates, because delegates just point to a function. So you can point to a add or multiply numbers function, and this delegate will work fine. So in a situation where you need some performance or a multiple usage of the function or method, you use delegate. In the next video, I'm actually going to show you how to use this delegate in a better way using some class and some better example. So stay tuned and please rate, comment, and subscribe, and bye for now.